What is up, everybody? Archon Tsunami here, bringing you guys a YouTube video. I'm going to try to get back to doing 2 videos a week where we upload the show and then I do a personal video. This one is done in OBS and the images might be a little blurry because it's done in slideshow, but at the same time it's just quicker for me to do this. So without further ado, let's hop into this video. This one is a top 5 things I want to see at E3 this year. Obviously, number 5 is Soul Calibur 6. And the reason I want to see Soul Calibur 6 is because they've already announced one guest character. And it was rumored that Cloud, Tifa, and Sephiroth were going to be added to the roster, which would blow my mind. It'd be amazing to have. And I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility considering that they did get Noctis for Tekken 7, which, if you don't know, Tekken 7 is a Namco Bandai game like Soul Calibur 6. The list that this was rumored on also had World of Warcraft releasing for the PS4 this year, or being announced. And while I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility with the new expansion on the way, I highly doubt it. I don't think that list was very accurate. I think it was just something that somebody put together to kind of, just draw people in. But if it's true and we are getting Cloud, Tifa, and Sephiroth, it's going to be really awesome to see at E3. Let's go ahead and go to number 4 here. Number 4 is Final Fantasy 16. Let's talk about 15 before we talk about 16 here. Final Fantasy 15 was good up until the ending, where you could tell that the game suffered from developmental issues with the change in directors. Like, this whole tone of the story kind of changed and just like went off the rails. 16 cannot do that. 16 will have to be a great game to restore faith in the franchise. Ever since 13, the games have been, with the exception, of course, of 14 being online, the single player installments have just not held the same ground that they did in the past. They have just been horrible, to say the least, like combat wise especially. 16 cannot be allowed to fall into that pitfall. They have to show us something this year at E3 that restores our faith in the game. They don't even have to give us a release date, just show us something, that will draw everybody back in. It would be cool if they could maybe give us a projected release date. I would probably guess somewhere around 2022 or something, or 2021, pending, because 7, we'll talk about that later, but anyway, so 16 just can't fall behind, because this is going to be the last single player installment we get for a long time. If 11 and 14 are any indication, because that would mean 17 would be another online Final Fantasy game. Every 3 installments we get an online Final Fantasy, I think, is Square's model to kind of keep it fresh. So yeah, 16 is my number 4th game, or my 4th game rather. Number 3, some type of Crash Bandicoot game. I would love to either see an Insane Trilogy 2 with the kart games being re-released, even Crash Bash being added to that would be pretty cool. Or even a standalone title would be nice to see at this point. There is a projected 2019 Crash game coming out, and I don't see a better time for Activision to announce that than at E3 this year. It'd be pretty cool to see on the Sony booth, or Sony conference rather, not the booth. Which I'm sure it would be at the booth, but anyway, moving on. Some type of projected Crash game, whether it be, like I said, another kart racer, or it be an actual standalone title. Number 2 is Final Fantasy VII Remake. No surprise here that this game's on the list. It's going to be interesting because they've supposedly scrapped all the past work that we've seen, like the trailers and all that. Those mean nothing now. They've remodeled Cloud to be a little more like what they pictured him to be in 7, because they got rid of CyberConnect 2. Now they're all doing it in-house, and as they're doing it in-house, they have a better picture of what they want the characters to look like. And I guess they thought that Cloud's CyberConnect 2 model looked more like his Advent Children form, and they didn't want that. They wanted the Cloud from the original 7, Probably a Cloud that's going to be a little bit more, I don't know how to describe it, like maybe a little less confident with his facial features or something, or his clothes and stuff to look more like the original. Hard to say. I know that Biggs, Jesse, and Wedge have also been reworked. Like Square made Jessie look more feminine is what they wanted. They didn't like how she looked in the trailer. So that's another thing to look for. I don't know if Barret got reworked because I think those were the only models we've seen were Barret, Cloud, Biggs, Jessie, and Wedge. I don't think any of the other characters were showcased at all. Maybe Tifa was, but I don't remember seeing her image yet. So yeah, something on FF7 Remake. Even if we get like a projected release date with with all the work that had been scrapped, it would be nice to see that, like maybe like a 2022 or 2023 release. Which actually might be bad for them in the ways of like the PS5 being announced in probably 2020. I don't know if they would just move production over to the PS5. Because if they did that, I believe that they probably wouldn't showcase anything because Sony's already said they're not showcasing any consoles this year. Like that includes a Vita or a PlayStation 5. They've already said no consoles are being showcased. So if that's the case, can they really showcase anything for Final Fantasy VII Remake? Would it cause confliction if it does have to go into a later development cycle than what was originally projected? Because, I mean, if we're looking, like I said, at a 2022, 2023 release, that's probably going to be right within the box of the PS5. So is it going to be a launch title for the PS5? I mean, it's all over the place. Then there's also the question of, like, what is the materia system still there? Are they going to do away with it? How are they going to work the combat system with, like, summons and magic and that? Like, magic actually wouldn't be that bad because you could actually, from what I've seen of the old combat system, if they retain that, you would just scroll down like Kingdom Hearts and hit magic. But summons, I think, would be a little bit more different in that they would probably be broken if you could just summon them like that. And that I don't think they would be fighting alongside you. They'd probably just be an animation and then they just end like 15. I don't know. There's a lot of questions that need to be answered. This is one of my most anticipated games, though. But since this is number 2, number 1 is Kingdom Hearts 3. And while people have actually had closed demos with the game, I think it's in its beta form still, maybe going into final, but maybe going into alpha. We need to see something there for us, the public. I mean, we've had rumors come out about the gameplay being really good from the people that got to playtest, which I think is awesome. The story I heard is still all over the place, sadly. And hopefully they can clear all that up with this being the final game in the Xehanort saga. Because after this, I don't know where they're going to go. If they're going to maybe do something in the ending where they add a new villain who was pulling the strings of Xehanort the entire time. Could be. And then make another saga there. Or if this is just it for Kingdom Hearts. If this is just it for Kingdom Hearts, then that's going to be sad. I hope they do something at the end of 3 to kind of, give us hope for another game. It would be nice to see more of the Disney Square crossover. I guess another thing I'm looking to see maybe is a demo for us, the public. Like, I know last year, I think Marvel, when they announced MVCI, they had literally the night of UMVC 3 come out, or maybe it was 2 years ago, but either way, like the night they announced MVCI, they ported over UMVC 3. So it'd be so cool to see a demo. Even Resident Evil, I think when it was announced, 7 or had a demo that was announced that day that we could play. So just give us something like that, Square. That's all we want. So that way everybody gets a chance to try the game out and kind of see for themselves what's going to happen with Sora and the gang and the combat system and whatnot. But yeah, with that, hopefully you guys enjoyed my rambling. I know I was kind of all over the place in this video a bit. I'm trying to hurry up and get it done. I apologize for that. I'll work on better quality throughout the coming weeks. It's just today I'm like really busy and I'm trying to get everything done before a certain time. If there's any games you guys want to see down in the or at E3 this year, put down in the comments section below, like your top 5. It'd be pretty interesting to see what you guys think. But with that, I'm gonna go ahead and head out of here. I will see everybody on Twitch this week, and until then, later.